Welcome back, Patriots. Welcome back, my friends, to Sons of Liberty 1773. Today is July 8th, 2023, year of our Lord. I'm telling you, folks, do not get complacent in prepping and preparing. The storm is just heading onto shore. We haven't begun to experience the brunt of it. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. I don't mean to depress everybody because I believe there is light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to get through this, but it's going to be one of the worst periods in American history. That's what we're going to go through. Probably world history as well. But I was watching the cold open on Bannon's War Room today, and Monica Crowley was on there tearing into China and how they're unconventional warfare. I mean, it's World War III. They're hitting us with drugs, right? The fentanyl killed 100,000 people. They're hitting us with cyber. They're stealing our technical, stuff. And there was an article in the Telegraph today, yesterday actually, I think, that China is preparing for war with America. They see that's ultimately where we're heading, and they're preparing for it. Well, they're in war with us already. They're taking this country over. They're meddling in our politics. They've compromised our politicians, president included. They've corporate espionage. People are selling out secrets. They're on the take to the CCP. They're smuggling, I believe, their army through our open border. They're, spies and political assets, military assets. So we're going to war with China, full out kinetic warfare. Okay, we're already in World War III. Monica said that and Bannon was talking about this as well. The BRICS, I think that's it. They're going to tie this now. It's come out to gold, to a gold standard, and it's going to be the demise of the U.S. dollar is the world reserve currency, and I mean that's really bad, folks. And Monica Crowley, kind of repeated what I've been saying for a long time. We're going to go into the Weimar Republic, hyperinflation. This war in Ukraine. And I was listening to Tucker Carlson, a clip of him, and he, paraphrasing, changing the world, the population of the world, the power hubs. It's bad. It's changing the currencies, the economies, and ultimately, there's going to be kinetic warfare. I don't see any way to avoid that. Can we avoid a full-out war with Ukraine? Maybe, okay, maybe, and that's if Trump gets elected, because I believe Trump will end the war in 24 hours, like he's been saying repeatedly. And how could he do that? He's got the total control as the president. He will cut Zelensky off at the knees. He'll say, we're going to make a deal, and he can hold some stuff over Putin. Said, guys, we're going to make a deal, and this is going to end. Neither side's getting what they want. But people quit dying, and that's ultimately what both of you guys should want. And I believe Trump will end that war in 24 hours. It'll be over. But we got to make it to election, and then he has to get elected, and then he's got to take office, and that won't be till January of 2025. So we're a ways out yet. I looked at U.S. gold or countries with the greatest reserve of gold, not mining, how much they're mining each year, but who's sitting on the biggest amount of gold bullion. By far, if you can believe, our gold is still at Fort Knox. And I had a chart I was going to pull up. I was going to do this video from my office, but our guests are back, so I didn't want to disturb them, so I came back out here to my outdoor studio, which actually I kind of like. But I had a chart pulled up. And maybe I can, when I edit this video, I can stick the picture in here. But America is setting like 8,000 tons of bullion. No one else is even close, and China is way down on the list. Even Russia is down a ways. So if we were to reinforce our currency with gold, go back to the gold standard in some fashion, we could combat what our enemies are doing. Because, trust me, there's a synergetic group of evil working to destroy the West, America, and our values. And they're embedded right here in our country, right? In our state, local governments, and our judiciaries. They're everywhere, our enemy. And we have to defeat them. I mean, quoting Trump, he said, either the communists win or we do. And I'm not going to live under communists, folks, under any fashion of it. But I think we're snowballing into World War III. I think we're snowballing into hyperinflation. This administration, this compromised, brain-dead moron that's at the helm of this country, that I believe, gets his marching orders from Obama or somebody else. I just don't think he's calling the shots in any fashion. He's just a puppet. They pull his strings and he moves. And when they let loose the strings, he falls down the steps and, getting out of the airplane and stuff. You ever let go of a puppet strings? They just kind of crash. So that's what's going on with Joe when he falls over. His strings broke. So I just can't say, and I'll tell you, Renee and I've got a little laxed on prepping. I mean, been busy around here doing a lot of stuff, and I've noticed some of our preps going down. So we're gonna be hitting it here pretty hard over the next few weeks, stocking up on stuff, and I just don't think even the best prepped person doesn't have enough preps. And that's saying a lot, because a lot of people that have, 90 days, 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, even a year, I just don't think you're going to make it, man. I don't. I think it's going to be really, really, really bad. Hey, if it's not, great, right? But, prepare for the worst and pray for the best. So anyways, the cluster munitions that were, deemed illegal, to use, they're like a crime against humanity type level, these cluster munitions that Jen Psaki, I guess actually Russia was there was a rumor Russia was going to use them, and Jen Psaki said, that'd be bad, that would be a crime against humanity, but now Joey's, sending them to Ukraine. I think there's a plan. I guarantee there's a plan. Probably Zelensky and the evil government over there planning. They need to get NATO in the war. They need boots on the ground from America, Britain, Germany, all the NATO nations. So they need to get NATO involved in the hot war, and they're plotting, folks. They're plotting. How can we do it? I think they were gonna bomb Zaporizhia and create a dirty bomb and blame Russia and say, this is it. The stuff would blow into NATO nations, and Russia did it, and that would be the answer to get NATO into the war. And that still could, they still may do that. Who knows, right? But they're up to no good. I guarantee they're up to no good. And I just think what a different world we would be in if Trump was our president. We were in Trump's second term right now. There'd be 13 soldiers that would come back from Afghanistan whole, alive, breathing. There would be a lot more soldiers that would have their limbs, their vision, their mental faculties, because a lot were blown to hell they never talk about from his botch pullout. And then arming our enemy, folks. I mean, this is the definition of treason. Arming our enemy with $80 billion of state-of-the-art U.S. war equipment. How is he still in office? The southern border. Another reason for impeachment. Selling our fuel to China. Not even getting into all the stuff we now know of the pay-for-play where the Biden family was taking millions and millions from China and Ukraine, for favorable treatment. They're going after, we're just living in such dark times right now. there's an article I was going to share, but I'm not going to now. I want to wait until a decision is made by a. I'm not even going to get into it, but it's disgusting, folks. It's evil. Same stuff that they're doing to Trump, but to some other people. There's this Project 65 by the left. I think it's project65.com or something. DuckDuckGo or Brave it, and you'll find it. Where they're well funded with millions and millions of dollars. And you know what they're doing? They're going after all the attorneys that represented anybody, Trump, me, yours truly, anybody in election integrity cases, to bankrupt the attorneys. They're going after them. That's what they're doing. They're going after all the good attorneys to either bankrupt them, get them disbarred, or both. You just seen the D.C. Bar's a leftist, as far as I'm concerned, my opinion. They're just an evil communist organization. The bar should be disbarred from America. We do need law and order, but when the system has become so corrupt, you just need, like the FBI, CIA, you just got to take it out and build anew, demo it and build new, and put protections in place, because, every attorney and judge is supposed to have blinders on, right? They follow the law. It's no longer what's happening. They're following their ideology, and it's terrible. If we have no law and order, which, we're kind of there. It must be so disheartening as a police officer to put the bad guys behind jail and then some liberal judges, letting them out. I just think we just got to keep grinding forward. But this Project 65 is funded, and they're going after the attorneys that were involved in the 65 election integrity cases. To destroy the attorneys, bankrupt them, defending themselves, yada, yada, yada. But they're doing to those attorneys what they're going to do. They're going after all their political enemies, folks. What happens when communists come to power? They go after their political enemies, and it's happening. They incarcerate them, right? Seeing that. Innocent people sitting behind, grandma and grandpa sitting in the gulags because they simply showed up to peacefully protest, exercise their First Amendment constitutionally protected rights, right? The right to petition their government with a redress of grievances, the right to peacefully assemble, on and on and on. But I think we're winning. I will tell you that. I want to give you a glimmer of hope. I just think everybody's slowly, not everybody, but more and more people are awakening, and they're seeing how wicked and evil America is, and where the problems are. And I think they're going to be on board with us. Even if they don't like Trump, I think they're going to vote for him in 2024. I think the numbers, there's going to be a groundswell beyond 2020 for Trump. And I think we're going to win. I believe that. We've learned a lot. We're not going to have a perfect system when the time comes, but it's going to be much better, and we know what to look for. And I think the numbers are going to be overwhelmingly on our side. If not, then I'm, it's the last book of the Bible playing out, and there ain't a damn thing we can do about it, except, just keep fighting the good fight and let it play out. Hopefully not. I would like to enjoy my retirement years in the country that, America be restored to the country that I grew up in, which quite isn't there now, is it? Anyways, I guess the highlights of this video are China's preparing for war with America. That base they're building in Cuba, Trump said it's going to be gone. Listen, Trump is up against, I was thinking, you can judge a good politician by who their enemies are, right? Any person, a good lawyer, pretty much, who are your enemies, okay? And that's going to tell you a lot about this person. Look at who Trump's enemies are. Tell me he's not a good guy. Everybody that's evil is going after Trump. Trump is up against the Chinese machine, right? The deep state, the communist, the woke ideologist. They are going to, and they have everything to lose if Trump gets reelected, which I believe he will. So listen, folks, the gloves are off. They're fist fighting, and take no prisoners. And we have to play that way with them. We have to. We have to, or we're going to lose. Trump certainly gets that. I mean, right? Trump's a nice guy until you punch him. He's a counter puncher. He never comes out swinging first, ever. But if you hit him, he hits back twice as hard. I like the guy. I think he's growing spiritually. I think he's being hardened, and how would I say this? God is molding Trump. I believe this. Into who he needs Trump to be. And I believe Trump is being made a better person going through these trials. He's definitely fearless. I mean, you see him at these events with all the heat coming on him, the indictments, the fake Mar-a-Lago stuff. Biden's literally got hundreds and hundreds of boxes stored in Chinatown. He took boxes when he was a senator. I mean, completely felonious, felony stuff. Should be in prison. Took stuff as vice president. He's got it scattered all over. It looks like this, not only the kid have access to it, but probably so did the CCP. But this is what the communists do. This is a tactic they employ time and time again. When they're guilty of something, they blame the innocent, okay, for being guilty of what they're guilty of. You see it time and look at Trump's children that they've went after as being, bad people. And then look at Biden's kids, right? Family. They're accusing Trump's family of what they're guilty of. Trump's kid he looks to have a wonderful family. Biden, not so much. And the taking classified documents, no, it wasn't us. It's Trump. Go get him, indict him, raid Mar-a-Lago. And it was like a third world government police force that showed up and did that raid. I heard firsthand from Christina Bobb that they took personal items, mementos. Hey, I took this one. I raided Mar-a-Lago. This is the creepy government we're under, folks. And we have to turn it around. We have to do it. So, everybody needs to be involved. Get involved in your local government. Go to commissioner meetings. Go to your township meetings. Go to the school board meetings. Go run for one of those positions. Get involved in your local Republican Party because the rhinos are in there. Oh, and reminds me of something. I was watching Laura Loomer. I can't think of her last name. Laura Loomer. And she's been watching. The Republicans are trying to change the rules and make it state parties. Which the national party's controlling a lot of them. They're not controlling Christina Caramo here in Michigan, I can tell you that. But they're trying to change the rules to make it hard for the delegates to vote for Trump or to get Trump right off in some states. Dirty Republicans, So I'm a conservative, constitutional Republican. I'm a conservative. That's at my roots. The Republican Party, we have our many enemies within the Republican Party. So not only do we have to go war against the Democrat Party, we got to fight our own party and clean it up. It's the party of chaos, is what I call it. And the Democrats, they've infiltrated. I believe a lot of these people are Democrats that say they're Republicans. They align with the progressives, and they're not in love with this country. They're into globalism and all that stuff. So they've been able to infiltrate, put their Trojan horses within the Republican Party. Kind of brilliant, because we're always at chaos, fighting ourselves. Well, they're not really us, right? But we're fighting within our party. While the Democrat machine is a well-honed, fine-tuned mechanism, okay? They're not going to have a primary. Listen, they're as much as I like Kennedy, they're going to destroy him. Will they put somebody else on their ballot other than Joey? Possibly, but they're focused on winning. Okay, right now there's nothing but infighting. It's constant in the Republican Party, I think I'm hoping they have an epiphany. Okay, the Republicans, the Koch brothers and all these slime balls, Romney and DeSanctimonious. Trump destroys people with his nicknames. They work. He does. If Trump brands you, man, you're stuck with it. But they need to focus on saving the country instead of get Trump, who's did nothing but good for America. 4 years of peace and prosperity under Trump. And whenever you meet someone who says, I don't like Trump or this or that, do this real quick. Just spit it right out to him. Okay, Trump was president for 4 years. What policy, what did he do that wasn't good for America in his 4 years as president? Hello, I'm listening. My one friend who kind of leans left, even though he doesn't want to admit it, says, well, the Trump inflation, he printed trillions of dollars and caused inflation. And hey, that's true. George Bush did it. Barack Obama outprinted all of them still, although Biden's going to beat him. But Trump had to put $3 trillion into our military because literally it was dilapidated. And he turned it into a state-of-the-art war machine that it should be. Obama decimated our military intentionally. And Biden certainly wasn't going to do anything. So there was like $3 trillion of spending. And then COVID hit, right? And he made a tactical choice to not let the economy crash and go into the Great Depression. And they printed money up. They printed us out of that mess. I wish they wouldn't have done it because the economy was good and they injected good money into a good or bad money into a good economy. But it is what it is. No one's perfect. So, hey, maybe that's a legitimate bitch. But overall, Trump did nothing but good for this country. And I will tell you that I think the inflation is coming from Biden for destroying our energy policy. So I don't blame Trump for the crazy inflation we're suffering right now. I blame the Biden administration. If you want to bankrupt a country and put them into squalor and poverty, kill their energy sector. Kill their energy sector and drive up food prices and everything. And he's doing a damn good job of it, isn't he? Anyways, folks, I'm going to keep this video under 25 minutes, and we're at 24, coming up on 24 minutes and 30 seconds. So I will end it here, but we're heading for war with China. Probably a kinetic warfare in Europe as it stands. And I think we're heading into the hyperinflation and the greatest depression if we don't change things really quick. And I look at best case scenario, Trump doesn't get the reins till January of 2025. It's a ways away, folks. And then he's going to be having to deal with this mess. And Trump will end that Chinese military base in Cuba immediately. There's going to be problems, and unfortunately, it's got to be cleaned up, or we're going to live in a slavelandia. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to end it here. I may go hit a car show again today. I'm going to enjoy summer while we can. See you. Bye.